What's going on, everybody? This is the Ball Up Top podcast. I'm your host, Mike. We're doing a special new YouTube show. We're going to call it the Kevin Durant Sweepstakes. If you heard the last episode, we covered the trade scenario for Kevin Durant to go to the Phoenix Suns. So this episode, we were looking to cover actually what happens if the Nets keep him. It's not really been like this popular idea. Kevin Durant said he wanted traded. He put basically free agency to a halt. I've said many times that I feel like all 30 teams should 29 teams should make a grab at him. For a real simple thing is, especially small market teams, you rarely get a chance to get a guy of Kevin Durant's caliber while he has 4 years on his contract. So, as you can see, the new studio is not up yet, and we're still going to work on that. But, the news doesn't stop. So this time we're actually covering the Brooklyn Nets. What happens if they keep him? Now, I'm actually of the opinion that this might be their best play. Because I remember when Kobe Bryant asked to be traded from the Lakers. And Lakers tried to find a deal, and Kobe would keep nixing deals because when it came down to it, like, the other team was losing too much. Durant is in an interesting pickle with the total time of his contract being 4 years. It's a max deal. What the Nets are asking for is a ton, and it probably went up after the Rudy Gobert trade. So the idea is, what if the Nets don't do anything, or what if they fire Steve Nash, bring in whatever coach that they can that Kevin Durant wants? But if they don't do anything, that means I also can't trade Kyrie Irving. They got to let this play out. You see if their professional pride takes over, because in sports, winning is a cure-all. And that's what people seem to forget. When you start winning, a lot of these problems, they go away. It's rumored at least, part of Durant's problems is the Golden State winning the title. Because in essence, I'm not saying this is perception, is that they didn't really need him to win titles. And a case can be made for that. Even though he was the best player on the Warriors team, a case can be made. And so rumor has it this kind of set him down a path. And he tried to help Kyrie get an extension, and that didn't work out. But if he wants to play with Kyrie, if he still wants to make that happen, they have a year to make that happen. Because you can't tell me that a healthy Kyrie, a healthy KD that are playing every night is not going to make them a contender. Now, do they need some more work? Sure they do. But I'm of the opinion that they could get away with this. Now, because in all honesty, the only thing they really lose in making that and not making a deal is Kyrie Irving at the end of the season. They still have Durant on a contract for 3 more years at that point. I don't know how popular it is. I just know that you're dealing with a guy who does have professional pride, who worries about his legacy, who is one of the best players on the planet. And if you give him the opportunity and you push him, he might exceed all expectations. But that's kind of where we're at with it. That means the Nets don't get all this boatload of draft picks. It means that, at least not yet, it means that could be forced to deal with Kyrie's antics. It means that, question, Kevin Durant, this is key. Does he still want to play with Kyrie? Because I know that they're good friends, and I'm not saying that they can't remain good friends. That doesn't mean that they enjoy playing together. Like, those are only questions Durant can answer. I would never try to put words in his mouth or speculate what he's thinking. But if I'm Brooklyn, unless I'm offered something that blows my mind, considering what I have, and what I have still makes me a contender, I would bank on Kevin Durant's competitive nature. I would. And understand that, yeah, it could be a disaster. But I'm also not going to give him up for pennies on the dollar. But that's all I've got for this episode of the Kevin Durant Sweepstakes. It's the Ball Up Top podcast. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment. What are you guys' thoughts? Should the Nets try to keep him? Should they just get rid of him? Whatever you want. I love talking to you guys. Check out our Instagram at @BallUpTopPodcast, our Twitter at @BallUpTopPod. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace.